Billionaires are known for their wealth, power, and polished public images. But when the media catches them off guard, the results can be jaw-dropping. From Kanye West's explosive outbursts to Elon Musk's sharp-witted comebacks, some interviews have gone horribly wrong, revealing the raw, unfiltered sides of these moguls. Ever wondered how the richest people on the planet react when the cameras turn on and the questions hit too close to home? Get ready for a roller coaster of awkward silences, fiery responses, and moments that left both reporters and viewers stunned. Kanye West's explosive encounter with the paparazzi. Kanye West has always been known for his unpredictable and intense reactions to the media, but one of the most infamous encounters occurred when he was approached by the paparazzi at 4 a.m. outside his home. As the photographer aggressively tried to engage Kanye in conversation, West's patience ran thin. He exploded with fury, calling the photographer a blood-sucking mosquito, and demanded he shut the F*** cup, while also asking why they were standing outside his house so early. Kanye's outrage was not just directed at the intrusion into his personal space, but at the blatant disrespect and inconsiderate nature of the paparazzi. His response was fiery and unfiltered, capturing a side of Kanye that's both volatile and unapologetic. This moment instantly went viral, not just because of Kanye's fury, but because it revealed a deeper frustration with the way celebrities, like Kanye, are constantly surveilled and objectified by the press. While Kanye's explosive behavior may be controversial, it also sparked conversations about the ethics of paparazzi culture, leaving us wondering just how far the line of respect should be drawn in celebrity journalism. Elon Musk destroys a reporter in a tweet war. Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, is no stranger to the media spotlight, but he's also built a reputation for roasting reporters who ask him questions he deems unworthy. One notable moment occurred during an interview when a reporter asked him about his stance on freedom of speech and the rise of hate speech. The reporter seemed to be pushing Musk into a corner, trying to frame him as someone who supported harmful speech by asking if he believed that slightly sexist content should be banned. Elon, quick-witted as ever, turned the conversation around, pointing out that the reporter didn't have a single example of the kind of content they were complaining about. Musk called out the reporter for making a baseless accusation, saying, "You don't know what you're talking about." This snappy response left the reporter flustered and unable to provide the evidence to back up their claims. Musk's razor-sharp comeback not only embarrassed the reporter, but also solidified his reputation as someone who doesn't take nonsense from anyone, especially those questioning his vision or integrity. It wasn't just an example of Musk's brilliance. It was a reminder of his unapologetic confidence in defending his principles. Mark Zuckerberg's lizard interview moment. One of the most bizarre and uncomfortable interview moments involving Mark Zuckerberg occurred when he was asked a strange question: whether he was secretly a lizard. This question, odd even for the most eccentric of interviews, came in the form of a direct inquiry that Zuckerberg had to answer. His response, while calm, was nothing short of hilarious. "I am not a lizard." While most people would either laugh off such a bizarre question or dismiss it, Zuckerberg's serious tone only added to the awkwardness of the situation. The internet quickly exploded, with many questioning if he was a robot or possibly a lizard in disguise. Some speculated that Zuckerberg's stoic demeanor and peculiar mannerisms may have led to this peculiar question. Whether it was a joke or a serious accusation, it was one of those moments where the interviewer, as well as the audience, was left baffled. Zuckerberg's inability to laugh off the absurdity of the situation made the moment even more memorable and strange. It was a true example of how the media and public perception can turn a simple question into a viral moment, one that many people still recall to this day when thinking about Zuckerberg's sometimes robotic persona. Donald Trump versus the reporter. Donald Trump's relationship with the media has always been contentious, and one of his most famous confrontations occurred during a press conference when he was questioned about his policies on immigration. A reporter posed a question that Trump deemed offensive, and in his signature combative style, he snapped back with a fiery response. He called the reporter rude and a terrible person, demanding they sit down and stop asking questions. This outburst was typical of Trump's confrontational approach to the press, where he often uses his power to put reporters in their place. The entire exchange was awkward, and it left the reporter visibly shaken. The moment was a clear demonstration of Trump's unfiltered attitude toward the media, one that was both aggressive and unapologetic. While some saw Trump's behavior as a necessary defense against the media's often critical tone, others viewed it as yet another example of his volatile temperament. Regardless of how it was interpreted, it was a reminder of how quickly things can turn sour in a press conference when a billionaire is challenged on their actions or views. Jeff Bezos gets grilled over the Kindle. Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, is often seen as a calm and collected businessman. But during one particularly tense interview, he got into a back and forth with a reporter over the Kindle. The reporter questioned the promotion of Amazon's Kindle, suggesting that it was being pushed too aggressively, especially to customers who had already purchased one. Bezos, already on edge, didn't take kindly to the insinuation. His response was sharp and dismissive, pointing out that the reporter's question lacked understanding of how the company operated. The interview quickly turned awkward as Bezos made it clear that he wasn't going to entertain what he saw as a baseless criticism. His frustration was evident, and the reporter was left stammering, unable to counter Bezos' argument. Bezos' quick thinking and no-nonsense attitude highlighted a key trait of successful billionaires. They're not afraid to stand their ground, even when they feel they're being misrepresented. This interview highlighted Bezos' unapologetic confidence, and it also served as a reminder of how little patience these tech moguls have for uninformed or irrelevant critiques. Bill Gates gets cornered on his relationship with Epstein. Bill Gates, like many other billionaires, has had his fair share of media scrutiny, but one interview moment stands out as particularly uncomfortable. When questioned about his relationship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, Gates tried to downplay the connection by stating that he regretted having dinners with him. However, the reporter pressed him, asking whether Gates had been warned about Epstein by his ex-wife, Melinda, and whether Epstein's reputation had been an issue. Gates appeared uneasy, struggling to answer the questions. The back and forth continued, and Gates' discomfort became increasingly visible. His awkward and somewhat evasive responses left the reporter pressing even harder for a clear answer. It was a humiliating moment for Gates, as his relationship with Epstein had been the subject of much speculation, and his inability to give a satisfying explanation only fueled more criticism. Gates eventually admitted that he regretted his association with Epstein, but the damage was done. The moment served as a reminder that even the most powerful men in the world can find themselves in uncomfortable situations when their past actions are called into question. Mark Cuban versus a reporter over LeBron James. Mark Cuban is no stranger to controversy, and he's never been afraid to speak his mind, especially when it comes to defending his team, the Dallas Mavericks. In one of the most heated exchanges, Cuban went toe-to-toe with a reporter who criticized LeBron James after the Mavericks defeated the Miami Heat in the NBA Finals. The reporter suggested that LeBron's performance was lacking, and that the Miami Heat just didn't want it enough. Cuban, however, wasn't having it. He launched into a passionate defense of his team and their strategy, while simultaneously criticizing the reporter's lack of understanding of the game. Cuban's words were sharp and direct, and he made it clear that he thought the reporter was completely off base with their analysis. The reporter, caught off guard by Cuban's intensity, struggled to respond, and the exchange ended with Cuban schooling him on the finer points of basketball strategy. Cuban's confidence and ability to stand up to criticism made it clear that for him, defending his team and his principles was non-negotiable. At the end of the day, billionaires are just like everyone else, under pressure, reacting to the unexpected, and sometimes losing their cool. These interviews remind us that even those who seem untouchable can falter when faced with tough questions or a little too much scrutiny. Whether it's a sharp response or a public meltdown, we're left with unforgettable moments that show there's more to these moguls than just their money and success. As the cameras continue to roll and the world watches, one thing is certain: these billionaire interviews will always be a reminder of the fine line between power and vulnerability.